Greetings. Today is Thursday, June 25th of 2015. It's roughly, I don't know, 3:30 on the dot in the afternoon. And, well, let's take a look at the garden. Okay, so, let's see here. I cannot see anything through the viewfinder. Well, I guess since we're right here, we'll just start off with the watermelon. Today I've taken my 4 watermelon mounds and thinned them out to 3 watermelons plants per mound. I'm keeping that ground cover on, as I explained before, to keep the moisture down in there, especially when the plants are nice and young like this. I have no idea how big their roots are. Oh yes, I do. We can guess, we can surmise real easy. See, so, because this is the one that I took out. It's kind of shriveled now, but you see there's not a lot of root build up there. And so I'll keep those on there for the moisture. I did the same thing over here with my cucumbers. Looks like I had to take one of them out today. I don't know if this was a weed or no, I guess. Oh, anyway, so there's 3 of them. Oh, they're looking real good. They're feeling real good too. And then I did the same thing with my cantaloupe over here. Okay, since we're right next to the peppers, let's take a look at what I did today. I kind of went on a weeding binge, and I was thinking, you know, I'd like to see my pepper plants. The weeds were about as tall as the pepper plants. And, you know, that's not so good for photosynthesis. I was keeping them in for ground cover, but I think the roots now are pretty good. They're deep enough that it's alright to start drying these plants out just a little. And I think that kind of helps things. I don't know for sure. We'll find out. But the plants are looking very beautiful down in here. And I got a lot of blossoms up here, and a few of these actually have some peppers on them. Oh, I guess not maybe a few, but a singular one right here has a little green pepper on there. These are my bells, my green bells. And then over here, at quite a bit taller, actually, than the green bells, are my jalapenos, and they are looking good. Actually, I guess I should call them jalapenos. Jalapenos. That's how they're spelled. Jalapenos. They're looking really good. They're quite tall and quite green. And you can see there's just a lot of growth on them. And I do have a few blossoms in various places. There's one on that plant, and there's a couple over there on that one. Doing good. This is going to be delicious. Let's move over to my strawberries. Strawberries turned out to be a real dud this year. I think the problem is simply that they're just being eaten before I can get to them. Every day I come out here, and this is what I find. I find white ones and not quite ripe, starting to be red ones, but that's it. That's as far as they've gotten this year. I've got 2 small handfuls at the beginning of the year, and this is also what they're doing. They're just oops, I can't move the plants. They're just not big. They're not doing anything. And I don't know if you can tell right there, but they're being eaten. Something's beating me to the punch or something. I don't know. That one actually just looks like it got shriveled up somehow. I don't know what's going on. And it's quite late in June now, so I probably won't get any more until, you know, later in this fall. They are Ozark Beauty, so I should have two you know, harvests. I should have some in the fall and then some in the spring and then some in the fall. Haven't done much with this patch here. My cabbage patch, of course, over there, and my cauliflower row. My one cauliflower is growing quite nicely. I was thinking maybe I should probably start blanching it, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to see how much larger it'll get first. I did go through my garlic today and thin the weeds out a little bit. I've been doing that anyway with my garlic and my onions. I've been keeping the ground cover away from the base of the plant, the stem of the plant, by about 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches depending on which plant. But for the garlic it was about 4 inches, and the middle was good, pretty clean, pretty cleared out. But now I think this is another plant that needs to start cutting back on the water, so I'm going to start cutting back on the weeds and rely more just on the drainage, which is what the mounds are for anyway. Haven't touched my carrots, they're looking pretty good. Down here, I haven't done anything with the weeds with my, I forgot what these guys are called, beets. The weeds are staying pretty well far enough away that I don't think it's going to cause a problem, you know, with, you know, building up the little orb that they do, whatever the actual beet. I did notice yesterday that my onions, my red onions particularly, have started to form bulbs at the bottom. So there's one right there, starting to form. Yay, so that's good. See, it's the 25th of June and that's how they look. And also today I see the bases of the white onions are starting to get a little bit bigger, so hopefully within a few days they'll do the same. Since we're right here, we'll take a look at the end. You know, I finished these rows off with the radish, if you remember. A lot of these are going to seed. They've kind of lost their appeal to me. So I'll probably just pull this patch out altogether and salvage what hasn't already gone to seed, and just call that quits for this year on the radish, except for down here I have another radish, which is a new radish. Two different radish types of radishes, and you can't tell on the video, but you can see different colors in the green. That one's more of a gray, and this is more of a bright green, almost neon. And they're producing some really good radishes, so I'll keep this one going, and that'll be my daily radish supply from now on. And although I did eat, I call them root apples because I eat them just like an apple. And then let's go over here and take a look at my red peppers, my red bells, and these ones are looking so good. This is one reason why I weeded these ones over here out finally, because oh my goodness, these ones were looking so good and I couldn't see those. So they were looking good too, it turns out. And I got lots of blossoms about to pop up on these. You can see, oh, this is just covered with blossoms, or I don't know what you call them, bulbs, you know, before they bloom, whatever. My peas, not too sure what to think about these snap peas. It might be just getting too late in the year for them. But my zucchini is looking well. As you can tell, this is a very beautiful zucchini plant. And yeah, let's move on to my potatoes. Still haven't decided whether I'm going to mound them up or not. I should have done that by now. But I'm pretty sure I just don't want to spend the energy on something that you know, I should probably be better off just going to the grocery store and buying. Because last year I didn't get very much at all, like half a dozen good ones out of a whole row. Here's my broccoli plant. This thing has taken quite the beating, but he's still growing good. I mean, he's struggling, he's trying, and he's making it. And he's a cool little broccoli plant. And hopefully he'll come through. My peas are looking wonderful. I have a whole lot of pods, just about like this, and a whole lot of blossoms. As you can see, new pods popping up. This one's brand new. I got two up here, just one plant right here. Well, actually there's two, I guess. But anyway, look at that. That's gonna look nice here in a little bit. Also to take note, my magnolias here, or no, magnolias, my marigolds, the plants are looking very good. The green and stuff. And now you see this? This is a little bulb, and he's about to pop up. And what are those things called before they blossom? I can't think of what they're... Anyway, this one's about to blossom. and I've had a couple. There's another one right over here that's about to blossom, so this is neat. I grew these from seeds, and yesterday I had one that was over on the other side of this onion row, or I guess it was that onion row, the white down there by the, anyway, on the other side of that. It looked much like this yesterday, but it had already started to open up, and so I thought today I'd come out and have a flower, and it was gone. I found it lying next to the plant, and it had broken off at the very base. Who knows about that? Now, the most important part of this year's garden, what the whole plan is based around, is these San Marzano tomatoes. I was going to have 6 of them, and that was going to be the base of all my salsa and all my pizza sauce, all my homemade stuff, and they are looking good. They came in so late in the year that I ended up planting all these others. These 3 over here are Romas, and then these 3 Roma VF varieties. Turns out it doesn't look like I'm going to need them, but it's alright to have them anyway. And these guys are looking great. They are just taking off. I mean, how long have I had them? 3 weeks now only, or just 2? I don't remember now. But excellent, excellent. We won't go on to the other tomatoes because they are doing awesome. We'll just leave it at that. This video is already way longer than I anticipated. I didn't know I was going to go step by step when I did this. Here's my sweet corn field. And it's a Three Sisters field, if you remember. I have, I think, spaghetti squash in these 2 rows. Well, only 3 of them came with the 6 I planted. And then I have crookneck squash over here. And I don't even know how many. One out of the 6 that I planted came up. That's all I could see right now. And most of the beans did not come up. And some of this corn, you can see there's a lot of corn that didn't come up, right in sections like this. And it was all spotty. And I replanted this 3 times. 3 times I replanted this. The last time, the corn actually started growing, but then the mice were coming in and digging them up. They'd get about 3 or 4 inches tall, and the mice would dig them up and eat what was left over of the kernel of the corn, thereby killing the roots in the plant. So this one's done. Whatever happens, happens. A good note about the patch is that these last 2 aisles are pumpkin plants, jack-o'-lantern pumpkin plants, and every single jack-o'-lantern pumpkin plant that I planted came up. So I got 6 in this row, looking good. I did notice today that this end over here, hi Garfield, here's Garfield, she wants a cameo. Okay, apparently it's not getting water. I'm having a tough time. Look at this there, it's wilting. The little guys are wilting down here in this heat. And even this pumpkin plant is not doing so well. This is area that's right here. Interestingly enough, these last 2 rows, or 3 rows I think, the beans are doing okay. I'll have to take some weeds down there so that they can get into the sun, because I think beans need sun more than they need ground cover. Alright, the very last thing for this garden, and now I'm on the wrong side of the sun again, but anyway, these are my sunflowers. So I have, what do I have, 5 out of the 6 that I planted. I planted this guy 3 times also, and the last 2 times the plant would get up about 2 to 3 or 4 inches. The first one I think was 4 inches. He made it all the way up to 4 inches before the mice dug him up, and this last one was only about 1.5 inches, and he was just dug up yesterday morning. Between Monday night he was there, no, Tuesday he was there, Wednesday he was gone. Today's of course Thursday, but the rest of them are looking very well. And you know, even this one corner down here, even this one's the shortest one. It's only, I don't know, what is that? You know, it's a little over 1 foot or something tall. And so, look, I run the sprinkler right down this row. And it's only just 1 over, so I don't understand why this section here isn't getting. I guess it's just happenstance that for some reason the wind maybe comes up by that time of night, by the time, and that's the last section that gets watered, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'll start with that section tomorrow, because tomorrow's water. I might water that section again tonight anyway. Yeah, in fact, I think that's exactly what I will do. Well, 15 minutes long. This is going to be a long video. I didn't anticipate I was going to do that, but I had a lot to say. I didn't realize that. Garfield has got a lot to say too, huh, Gar? And I did not mention my berries. This poor little berry, you know, it kind of just stopped growing, I think, once I transplanted it over here, which is really a bummer. And I must have damaged the roots on this when I transplanted it, because I did get a lot of dead all of a sudden. Just a lot of crispy brown within a week of transplanting. It did shoot up quite a bit after transplanting, so a lot of it's still real good plant, the top part here. This one, I don't know, he just turned off all of a sudden, and all that growth this spring, and then he just stopped. I see there's a few little ones there. And I don't know if that's normal for blueberries to just, I mean, it developed all these berries and then just stopped. And I was expecting it to just keep on going and keep on going. But, yeah, alright. So that is the last. Turns out my sunflowers weren't the last after all. Okay, in the last week, let's see, last Thursday this was all green, just as green can get, just as green as what's grown over here, as green as those strawberries right there, which is the greenest thing right now except for the tomatoes and the, you know, as green as, I should say, it was as green as the strawberries and as green as the potatoes and as green as the tomatoes and as green as the corn. I'm kidding on now, but within 3 days, by the time Sunday rolled around, all this was dead, all of it. The mountain is starting to look yellow. Yeah, last week at this time it was green as green can get, very beautiful, very muggy, which I hated. So I'm so glad that it's nice and warm now. But the weeds are here, and that means I'm gonna have to stop having a fire. Unfortunately, I buy my firewood at Hess Lumber. Actually, my sister's boyfriend gets it, and that stuff crackles a lot and sends sparks and chunks out. So I think either I gotta switch to another wood source, or I'm gonna have to stop for the summer for campfires at nighttime. Move to a grill instead. But anyway, that is the state of my garden.